Hi, I'm Mark DiBenedetto alongside Danny Pello, Harry Hawkins, and Taylor Denson. After a season opening win last week at Colby, it's finally here, Williams Week. The players getting dialed in and hyped up for the annual rivalry game, while fans are getting ready to protect the coop for the 40th straight time. TSN Football coming at you! Yeah!
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being...
My focus of the week is on the Bandits' ability to concentrate and block out all the distractions surrounding this game. Williams Week is always the biggest game of the season, but has been magnified to an even greater extent this year with the Bantams' 39-game home winning streak on the line. A win would mark the 40th straight win at home for the Bantams, a streak that dates back 10 years to 2001. A large, hyped-up crowd is expected as alumni will be flocking into the coop from all over the Northeast. The players and coaching staff must remain composed and focused throughout the entire game and make sure that they do everything in their power to bring home a Bantam victory.
My focus of the game is on the loss of star kicker Tim Costello, who suffered a season-ending leg injury in the last 2 minutes of the game against Colby. Costello has been a major asset to the Bantams over the years, earning multiple All-NESCAC and ECAC selections. Last year, he averaged 55 yards on 45 kickoffs and tied the NESCAC record for field goals in a game with 4 against Middleburg. Costello was also Trinity's starting punter, which makes his injury that much more of a concern for Coach Devaney and the Bantams. With no other kicker listed on the roster, the Bantams will be at a significant disadvantage heading into the biggest game of the season. They now go from one of the best kickers in the NESCAC to the unexperienced foot of freshman cornerback Zach Conti. If I were Coach Devaney, I'd be hoping and praying that Saturday's game does not come down to a last-second field goal.
My focus of the week is the Trinity defense. Last week against Colby, the Bantams only allowed 75 yards on the ground, while the East men rushed for 219 yards in their season opening win over Bowdoin. In order for the Bantams to control the game, they're going to need to control Williams' dominant rushing attack and force their quarterback to make plays in the air.
My focus of the week is the Bantams' special teams. Each year, the Williams game is one of the biggest on Trinity's schedule, and in close games, special teams always has an impact. Last week in their opening win against Bowdoin, Williams averaged almost 30 yards per kick return while holding opponents to only 20 yards per kick return. This week, Trinity will have to close the gaps on kicks and rely on return men Nick Campbell and Chris Ragone to really give them good field position.
My player to watch is sophomore wide receiver A.J. Jones. With only 1 catch for 28 yards as a freshman, Jones had to fight for his spot in the starting lineup this preseason. After earning that starter's role, he did not disappoint. Last week at Colby, Jones led the Trinity receiving corps, catching 3 passes for 56 yards, including a 30-yard TD reception. This week, I expect Trinity to establish the running game and wait for those safeties to creep up so they can hit Jones for some more big plays from the air. Don't be surprised if Jones hauls in another long TD pass this Saturday versus Williams.
My player to watch is sophomore running back Dante Ashheimer. Before ending his season early due to injury, Dante was on pace to have a spectacular rookie campaign. In the 3rd game against Hamilton, he rushed for over 110 yards on only 8 carries and scored a touchdown in Trinity's 41-7 victory. Expected to be one of the anchors for the Bantams' rushing attack this season, the pressure is on the former high school standout to deliver. A product of the Hill School, Dante holds his high school's record for the most touchdowns in a season and boasts the title of league MVP. So far, Dante is leaving right where he left off, as he ran the ball well and scored a touchdown in last Sunday's game against Colby. As a player used to high expectations, he is almost guaranteed to step up his game in one of the most important games of the season. Look for him to play a key role in Trinity's rushing attack.
My player to watch this week is sophomore running back Evan Bunker. Last week against Colby, Bunker only averaged 3.4 yards per carry after averaging over 4.6 yards per carry last season during the second half of the year. In order for Trinity to control the clock and control the ground game, Bunker is going to need to partner with fellow sophomore running back Ben Crick, who averaged over 6 yards per carry last week, in order to keep the explosive Williams offense off of the field.
My player to watch this week is junior Nick Campbell. For the last 2 seasons, he's been the Bantams' main return man, and in 2010, he averaged 28 yards per kick return, good for 13th in the nation. This season, he's also been converted into a defensive back, and he already made an impact against Colby with 3 tackles and 1 pass breakup. Look for Nick to have a huge impact on special teams and defense this week against Williams.
Okay guys, it's time to predict the 70th matchup between Williams and Trinity. I predict Trinity's going to win a tough battle, 21-20. Danny?
I'm thinking 35-28 in a high-powered offensive battle.
Actually, Danny, I think it's going to be a lot of defense. I'm going to predict a 17-14 victory for Trinity.
I feel you there, Harry. I'm going with a Trinity win, 21-17.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to come out and support your Bantams on their quest for the 40th straight home victory this Saturday at 1:30 in the Coop.